There are a number of different techniques for making metal sculpture. Number of different types. Cast is very common. Also, making metal sculpture from molds is something that started to happen later on, and then assembling sculpture from all the different components: the head, the torso, legs, arms, etc. Or lost wax technique. So we're really talking about different techniques, different methods of creating metal sculpture. Now, what's really important, though, to understand is that there are really, by subject type, there's really figurative and decorative. So these are the two big areas. Now, in terms of talking about a specific type of metal work, right now we're just going to talk about repousse. Repousse means hammered metal. It's a technique where you take thin sheets of metal, either copper or copper alloy, sometimes silver, and then you hammer it into specific shapes, designs, or into figures. Now, for repousse, it's extremely common all across the Himalayas, Tibetan regions, northern China, Mongolia. Extremely common art form, and we actually have three main types. In terms of subject types. Now, the first two we've talked about, figurative and decorative, but we also have masks, which can take up a certain component, a certain number of objects. So it's worth breaking out masks. Now, with figurative, there are two types. There's flat work or partially flat work, can be raised. But it's essentially two-dimensional, but it can be raised. It can have depth. And then the second is works in the round. Works in the round are where you create the front of a figure, and then you then proceed to create the back of the figure, and then they're joined together, usually welded. Sometimes there's flanges and they're bent together and then soldered. There's different techniques. Sometimes they're put together with small pins or nails. So for figurative works, there's two types. There's a flat work and then partially flat. Then there's works in the round, and I'm sure there might be the possibility of some type of other. Now, also with figurative works, you can have two different techniques that are used, where you have the main body and torso of a figure is done in repousse in the round, but possibly the head and the hands are cast, and then they're all attached and assembled together. Now, for decorative repousse, there's just general miscellaneous types, but then we have types of decorative repousse that people are very familiar with, such as amulet boxes, the gaos, many types of ritual objects, and then very importantly, the torana, the throne back for many large format, life size, bigger than life size, Buddha images or Padmasambhava or other deities. So these throne backs, which would be too heavy if they were cast metal, are often done as repousse, as hammered metal. So I'll leave it at that. You can press the like button. You can subscribe. Very importantly, you can join HAR on Patreon. And you can also make a donation on the homepage of Himalayan Art Resources.